Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
Now, Amanda brought up something really interesting, though. Because we talked about the taking a break. She said there are children's hospitals that do this right now. It's called episodes of care. She says, I hate it. They force family to take breaks. We're aware of this. There are grants in different states that do this.
Oh, yeah.
I think it is criminal. And parents can see when they're in the middle of it that just when your child is starting to make progress, they say, oh, time to take a break now. It's maddening, Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't advocate that. I do think that there is this interesting thing that we all have a different temperature meter of how frustrated we're willing to let our children be. And that, and there's a very fine line between when, like you were saying, it might be that the lesson is too hard and we need to teach them other skills to get them to do the thing. Or it could be the exact opposite, that your child is bored bananas and they need to have something else. And I think that that's often a place where when you don't have somebody who's good, who's looking at that and seeing that for your child can be really important. It's like, when do we, but none of the remedy for that is to stop.
No, it never is. And we always talk about that. That's one of the things that I miss from doing ABA the way it's meant to be. When I started doing ABA, obviously there was no funding, right? Because it was the Flintstone age when I started doing ABA. But realistically, there was no funding, but that allowed us to do what was important, right? So in other words, we were not controlled by health insurance policies. And one of the things that I still to this day think is one of the most important things we used to do that is not allowed today was what we called clinic meetings. And clinic meetings were when the supervisor, which now would be a BCBA, would sit with the parents, the child, and all of the staff, the BTs or behavior therapists or technicians. And everyone, it was a 2-hour session, and everyone would go around and demonstrate working with the child on what they did this week and how the child did. And all of us would cheer and when he had successes, and we would problem solve when he didn't. And so that would allow the supervisor to see every reaction that the child had. And it was very easy then to see when things are too easy, as you said, too hard, or if that's when you would start problem solving things like, oh, it looks like he needs a visual prompt. It looks like he needs this or he needs that. Things have changed so much. It's so difficult now because supervisors are not allowed to overlap with a group of therapists. So in best case scenario, a supervisor or BCBA will have an overlap with one BT, which a lot of organizations don't even do that. And so the person who's designing the program, the supervisor, the person who's moving lessons up or down, doesn't get to work directly or doesn't get to see the child's boredom, excitement, response to reward. It's kind of like just has lost that, unfortunately. But it is very important to observe, because successful ABA is just that. It's successful. The child is enjoying it. They're thriving. They're learning. They're moving forward all the time.
I tell you, at some point, if I had another life that I could lead, one of the things that I'd like to do is band together with a bunch of parents that are like me, that their children had been through good ABA and at a time when clinics were allowed, and to lobby hard, I don't know, for insurance reform to allow these clinics. Because the other thing that it does, Dr. Grand-Pichet, and I watched this for 5 years, is that, all the therapists have their own sort of style. They do things their own sort of
Absolutely.
way. And when you have your whole team in the room and one of them does one lesson and they do it a different way, everybody learns. The parent learns, the whole team learns, everybody gets excited. Everybody's like, ooh, I can't wait to try that. And it feeds the whole thing. And we know this model works because that's how all teaching hospitals are. They do the rounds and everybody gets to watch and learn and watch other people present and do things. We know that it works, and we know that insurance pays for it sometimes. Insurance doesn't understand how pivotal this is to success with ABA. And I do think that it's only going to be parents that are going to be able to change that.
Always. It's always the parents. Yep.
So
if you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.
don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time on autism-network.com. We hope to see you there.